There was us.
A curious couple and their unruly son.
Arthur.
More Charles than me.
It's like I can breathe again. Thick and soupy as this air is. Might even do your whistling.
Ah, feels like a lifetime ago.
It was a lifetime ago. But what a life we have lived. How well we have fought. Especially both of you.
I hope so.
But now, when things are desperate, we have to stick with the plan. Make enough money, then find somewhere where nobody will find us. Where we don't have to hide.
Like where?
I got some ideas hatching, but I need you with me, not against me. Both of you.
Of course.
Still, we do need money. So keep a low profile, especially in the local town. After Valentine, I want everyone on best behavior here. No trouble. But start turning over the soil and the rocks. See what turns up.
Dutch, we've got to be discreet.
Imagine what a slew of rich simpletons there must be down here. Oh, this is perfect for you, Hosea. You'll be able to play them like a fiddle.
Nothing would give me greater pleasure, but
No buts. Not today. We fish and we enjoy the day. Looks like law up ahead. Play it cool.
Ooh.
Easy.
Hello, gentlemen.
Well, look what the cat drug in.
I seem to have gotten myself in a spot of bother.
Quiet back there.
Let's see if we can't sort this out. How are you, boys?
Fine.
This is quite some country you have here.
We like it well enough.
Hoagie McIntosh, at your service.
Lee Gray. This is my deputy Archibald McGregor.
It's good to meet you.
You a Scot?
Partly. The best part.
Of course.
Now, tell me, sir, what did the silly, fancy fop back there do? Nothing too terrible, I trust.
He was accused of running a gold mining investment scam.
Oh, no. I'm sure he wasn't. He is a magician. I know him. He's a fool, but he is not a bad fellow. Now, can we just...
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Shit! The Anderson boys! I can't have more scandal!
Well, allow us to help, my friend. Arthur,
Chase wanted man.
and take Archibald with you.
Just what...
Let's go after that train! And do not shoot them, you hear me? Come on, hurry!
All right.
Come on, we're losing them!
Will you relax? We're not losing them.
Faster, come on! What's your name, sir?
Arthur Callahan.
Faster, Mr. Callahan, please! My neck is on the line here.
I get it. I'm doing my best. Somebody pull me up! Looks like the son of a bitch is gonna make it. You sure I can't just shoot him?
No! Did I not say that?
You've said plenty.
You fella couldn't arrest a blind woman! Ha ha!
Ooh, that must have hurt. Leave him. Stay with that train. The train is slowing down to go through the station. Now's our chance. See if you can get alongside the train. Closer! Get us alongside it! Get alongside that flat carriage. You think you can jump on there?
Me? Why me?
Because you ride like my grandmother. Watch out! He's throwing bottles at us.
You cop bastard! I didn't do nothing! Ah! Go to hell! That's enough! Damn it!
Ah! Go on, don't lose him!
Running ain't gonna help! You're only making it worse!
just us then, lawman. Come here.
We need to bother.
Let me go.
We can't do that. This bears.
Just don't kill him.
You sure?
Just you, and then we'll take him in, all right? Hello? Is everything all right in there?
Well, I don't think he's dead. I think I won the fight. Just about.
Bring him out here.
Deputy,
Sounded like quite a commotion. Is that him?
I sincerely hope so.
Old Anders Anderson.
What now?
Take him in, come on. A fine job, well done. And a pat on the back for me for stopping the train. There you go. You are a natural. All right, let's take him in. Follow me.
What about the others?
Oh, we'll round them up. Anders back there is the brains of the operation, and that's really saying something.
You're the boss.
That was mighty impressive, sir. I have to admit. I'd hazard a guess you've served the law yourself at some point.
Well, I wouldn't exactly say that.
Are you familiar with the area here?
No, not really.
On state belonging to the Gray family.
Looks bone dry.
Yes, we are in dire need of some rain round here, let me tell you. The Grays have lived in Caliga Hall for generations. Fine people. My
Sì, adesso ne cambio un
for
secondo.
them for years. Sheriff Gray's the one I know best, of course, but they own half the businesses in town.
Which town?
Rhodes, sir. You don't know it? Where we're headed right now. Ain't what it was before the war, but it has its charms. I'm sure you already know of the Braithwaites.
Like I said, just got down here.
Another big family in these parts. They have an estate west of here. Awful people, truly awful. They've been fighting with the Grays for as long...
Ok. Mi sono iscritto comunque.
Remember.
Sounds like quite the place you got here.
No way. I don't need no part of it.
We're gonna bear left here.
Sì ragazzi, adesso arriviamo.
Here we are. Welcome to Rhodes. Up there on your left is the Rhodes Parlor House. Very reputable saloon owned by the Gray family. We also have a general store, gunsmith, post office, train station, of course. Oh, good, they're back. And that's your friend, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna stop just ahead on the right, outside the sheriff's office. Can you grab Anders off your horse and carry him in for me? Come on, partner, before he wakes up.
Mi sono iscritto.
Chop, chop, don't just leave him slumped on there for the whole town to see. Carry him over then.
Hey,
Mr. Gray! We got him. Very good.
I told you Arthur would deliver. Man has a passion for justice.
That's wonderful.
So, about my friend here?
Your idiot friend is free to go. But no more trouble from you, partner.
I promise you, this was all just a big misunderstanding. However,
I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'll pretend to appreciate that. Mr. McIntosh, it has been a real pleasure. The mostly good citizens of Rhodes, we welcome you.
Well, we're just honored to be here.
And make your friend behave. We got enough trouble from some of the residents, old-timers who've gone, sadly, to seed and lost their dignity.
How terrible. Come along now. I will keep this fellow on the straight and narrow.
Come back and see us sometime soon. Excuse me, gentlemen. Bo, these better be ugly rooms. Is it true you were seen talking to that wretched Penelope Braithwaite?
Can't thank you enough.
Where have you been?
Around.
And where are you staying?
I'm renting a caravan on the edge of town behind the church.
Sì,
It's
avevo
horrible,
detto di
but no one comes looking. The whole town is trapped in this interminable feud between the two families.
Okay,
His
that's
lot,
good.
Grays, and Braithwaite's.
Interesting.
Two old plantation houses, falling out, rebel gold, marrying cousins, or not marrying.
Arthur, Jose, you start poking around. See what you can find out about that.
I have missed you, boys. I've heard about bounty.
There's been a price on my head for 13 years. It'll take a month to find us down here, and it seems like we can have a little sport.
Well, they're good bounties.
Where do you hear this?
Some fellas I met at a camp near the state line said there was talk of it in bars in the north and west for 500 miles. There was talk of super agents or some such.
Super agents. I'd love to meet one. It's just talk.
I'm sure it is, but I couldn't not tell you.
Stay out of trouble.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Lasciato ballare
So
ragazzi,
these two
no.
plantation families.
That's
Arthur,
good.
you start sniffing around the Gray's place, see what the story is there.
Yeah, I passed by it earlier with our friend, Archibald.
Good. Hosea, you see what you can find out about these Braithwaites.
All right. Thank you, Arthur.
Quite a fishing trip.
There's still time. I'm up for it.
How about you, Arthur? Have you had enough of the chase for one day? So you coming or not?
Sure, why not?
Non c'è andiamo a pescare.
Great. Hosea, why don't you lead us to that spot you were talking about? Kinda like this place.
Okay. Let's see if we can avoid any more excitement.
Just taking it one day at a time.
Sheriff found a way to...
All right, gentlemen. Follow me.
Ok. Andiamo a pescare, dai.
Yeah. So how far is this creek?
It's a bit of a ride still, and it's not a creek. It's the same lake we camped on, just a different pipe. It'll be worth it. I saw some big drum and sturgeon there. Should be rock bass, bluegills, perch, pickerel too. It's a good spot.
We'll see if you're as good at catching fish as you are at catching criminals, Arthur.
Trelawney owes me for that.
Trelawney owes everyone for something, but his information is good.
Plus, we are now ingratiated with the local law. I'd say it was a worthwhile diversion all around.
Ok, adesso arriviamo. Sono già iscritto, dai.
So, you're going back to see that Sheriff Gregg?
Yeah, I don't see why not. They don't know who we are down here.
He didn't seem the sharpest attacks. Neither did that deputy.
If he thinks we can be useful to him, he can certainly be useful to us. A little hiding in plain sight.
I feel like we're always hiding in plain sight.
but sometimes more smartly than others.
Where is this spot, Hosea? Timbuktu?
Not too much farther. Anyway, you two never told me properly about that business with Cornwall in Valentine. What happened there? Apart from scaring the living daylights out of Mr. Strauss.
That was about the only upside. John and I didn't even have time to get paid for the sheep we rustled.
It is safe to say Mr. Cornwall isn't a man to let bygones be bygones.
Ambushed us in the saloon. He came with a lot of guards and what seemed like just about every lawman in the county.
This is the spot. Down to the left there.
Okay, tell me what's right.
Whoa!
I saw some boats around last time. Be good to get to deeper water. Yes, over there on the shore. Ha! I'm sure nobody would mind if we borrowed one of these. Come on. Hey! All right. This looks like a fine vessel.
Okay. Come on, Arthur. Let's get her in the water.
Oh. I got a good feeling about fishing here. There's supposed to be some incredible sturgeon.
Oh, okay, here we go. Still labor no more?
You're too dumb for anything else.
You're still too quick for me, old man.
I enjoy picking on children. Now take us to the deeper water and pray for good luck and stupid fish.
But what about stupid luck and good fish?
That'll do, too. Head towards the middle of the lake. I think here's good.
All right. Good luck, gentlemen.
Should really come here at dawn or dusk. That's when you catch the best fish. We should use a lake lure. That'll give us a much better chance of hooking something big like a sturgeon.
What's wrong with a good old worm?
Oh, worms are good for tiddlers like bluegill and rock bass, but you'd have to be real lucky to catch a sturgeon with one.
Lures it is, then. You heard the expert, Arthur. Let's bait up.
Keep the lure moving slowly on the water so it looks like a little fish just asking to be eaten. Are you trying to make your lure look like a dead fish? They won't be interested if it ain't moving.
I think that's a bite. There, hooked him. Come on, Arthur. You can't go back empty-handed. You got a bite there, Arthur. Nice, you hooked him.
Ha! Got ya! Shit, got away.
Hey, look at this beauty.
There you go.
Well done, Arthur.
They can grow a lot bigger than that. Fella told me he once saw a monster lake sturgeon near the mouth of the river, just southwest of Saint Denis. 50-pounder, he reckoned.
I would like to see that. Hey, Hosea, you remember that time we sent Arthur out fishing? He came back with 3 beautiful bass.
Not this again.
I don't think I do.
Oh, yeah, you do. He was maybe 20, 21, walked in all full of himself. We had a big feast, toasted him all night.
This was 15 years ago.
Oh, I remember now.
Then, the next week, Arthur and I are at the market, and Fishmonger calls out, "So how did you enjoy those bass?"
Look, you can fish, or you can go drinking all day, rob someone, and buy some fish.
There we go. I used to go fishing with this feller back in the day. Wesley, his name was. Real miserable bastard, but he loved to fish. We'd go out all the time. But one day, we were river fishing when we see a funeral procession going over the bridge, and out of the blue, Wesley stands up, takes off his hat, bows his head. Then he sits down, picks his rod back up, and carries on. Doesn't say a word. So I'm a little surprised and say, "Wesley, that was nice of you." And he replies, "Well, felt I had to. After all, I was married to her for 30 years.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, dear God. I might swim to shore.
Remember those big salmon I caught in Montana last year? We had a banquet planned that night until Copper went and scoffed the lot.
You never had control of that dog.
He had some spirit, though. Never lost the puppy in him, right to the end.
You know, I remember us saying how Blackwater was the furthest east we'd ever been. As a group, I mean.
Feels like the more we try to head west, the further east we end up.
We had all those safe spots picked out to lie low in New Austin after the ferry job.
I liked it there. Still open and wild, the way it should be. Somehow the desert makes you feel closer to the sky.
No point us trying to get back that way anytime soon. Pinkertons had patrols out all over tall trees and Great Plains. We saw when we went back for Sean.
Well, look at us now, huh? It could be worse. Plans change. That's just how life goes. Did I ever tell you my mother's buried in Blackwater?
Really? She is?
Apparently so. I only found out from an uncle of mine years later. Last I knew, she was still outside Philadelphia. I left home at 15 and didn't see her again. She and I didn't always see eye to eye. I wasn't always a very obedient child.
I can only imagine.
Still, I loved her in my own way, and she me in hers. Somehow, even from the grave, she managed to have the last laugh.
Got one. You got a bite.
He's got something biting, Arthur.
You hooked him?
Not bad, Arthur. Make sure you don't forget about that and let it rot in the bag.
Hey, I reckon we call it a day, fellas.
Already?
You ain't been chasing down outlaws.
All right. Think we got a decent haul here. Pearson will be happy. Should we head back?
We could keep the boat not too far back to camp from here.
Good idea. Could be useful.
What about the horses?
Well, they'll find their way back.
Just follow the shore south, Arthur.
That was fun. Thank you, boys. Now, what?
All right, I got one for you. I asked that gal to give me some.
I asked that gal to give me some. She says wait till the taters is done. I couldn't wait till the taters was done. I couldn't wait till the taters was done. Threw her on the floor and I knocked off some. I wish to God I'd passed her by. I wish to God I'd passed her by. Taters got burned and so did I.
That was pretty good. But you know, what song we should be singing?
What?
Well, look at us. 3 mariners.
Ah, of course.
Well, we 3 poor mariners newly come from the seas. We spend our lives in jeopardy while others live at ease. Shall we go dance this round, around, around? Shall we go dance this round, around, around? And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this round, round, round. We care not for the martial men that do our state's disdain, but we care for the merchant men who do our state's maintain. To them we dance this round, around, around. To them we dance this round, around, around. And he that is a bully boy, come pledge me on this ground, 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 ground. Oh, bravo! Bravo!
Well, you know, we should not let the folks back at camp think that we had too much.
Indeed not.
All right. I think we are gonna be okay. I know. Oh, I always know. Whenever I got you two by my side, things are gonna be just fine. This place will be good for us. For now, anyway.
Sono già scritto, Isaac.
Well, I am going to take in the view.
I'll give these fish to Pearson.
Arthur! again, I've been real worried.
What do you want?
Don't be like that. All right, just a few bucks, and I'm short.
Get lost.
Well, I'll go try someone with a heart.
You do that.
Ah, Herr Morgan.
Sì, ok, adesso li scrivo. Ok, fatto.
Herr Strauss.
How are you enjoying yourself here?
Well enough, I guess. And you?
Well, it turns out the pursuit of freedom is not a cheap business. Not for us, and not for some of the locals.
Sharking already.
I prefer to call it banking.
You ain't the one handing out the beatings.
No, but I am the one feeding the women and children in the camp. What choice do we have, Mr. Morgan?
I don't know. Well, come on then. Tell me who.
Here's the list. Refinery worker turned hunter by the name of Vinton Holmes. You'll find him up in the hills north of Strawberry. Ah, an apprentice undertaker. This one working in Rose. His name was Gwen Hughes.
And how many of them do you think will be able to pay?
With enough encouragement, both of them.
Ok.
Mr. Pearson, look what I've got. Fish.
You should have been a sailor. It was. He's a greedy bugger. I'm hungry too. Hadn't eaten in 3 days. I thought to myself, I robbed this pair of bath.
Allora, andiamo a fare questa versione.
Hello, Mr. Morgan. The boat will be going to Trenton with him in his deck.
Sì, Dark, adesso ricordo. Però scriviti, che non c'è scritto. Allora, andiamo a fare la versione.
You think all this Lemoyne air is free for you?
Settle down.
Goddamn war, don't blame me. Yep, I paid for my shit.
Coming really bad.
Paid for my body and my
What y'all pay?
Allora, meglio.
Okay. Better not be stolen, all right? How's your friend getting on with those new clothes?
Ok, le spalle.
Has anyone seen an Englishman called Gavin?
Yep.
Ragazzi, se io la scrivete devi lasciare una bella like.
Whoa, whoa! Yep. Yep. This here the Gray Plantation?
Yep. Gallagher Hall. And that's his clothing.
Hey, look, I've been helping the sheriff with some trouble. Wanted me to have a word with a few of the folks on the property here.
Emmett Lee. All right. Have a word. But I ain't got the time to help you.
Obliged.
Might be our dumbest deputy yet.
No, immagino.
Hey, I was hoping you'd talk a moment. I'm a student of the history of the region, and,
I ain't the one to speak to. Try Master Bo. Think he's down there by the wood store. Boy's got all the time in the world.
Ok.
come on, boy.
Ecco, lo so.
Huh. I'll see you at the sheriff's office.
Excuse me, friend.
We friends?
Not yet, but he is hoping.
I guess.
We don't get a lot of traveling men here, and suddenly there's a whole phalanx of mysterious but strangely helpful Yankees about the place.
Is there?
What are you doing here?
I was just looking for work.
Well, looking for something. Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
What secret?
I got a secret of my own.
Are you secretly normal?
Excuse me?
Never mind.
Che stai vedendo?
Thing is, I don't care if you kill the whole lot of us and the Braithwaites.
I don't want to kill anyone.
I love her, you know.
Love who?
Penelope. But it's impossible.
Love tends to be complicated.
She's a Braithwaite. I'm Bo Gray, son of Tavish Gray, nephew of Lee Gray, the sheriff, grandson of old Murdo Gray. We Grays have been loyal to the state and murderous to the Braithwaites for so long now, no one can even quite explain why. Beyond blind loyalty and stupidity. I'm supposed to be loyal to some nonsense while she's amazing. She's like a woman from the future. She's like tomorrow, if tomorrow turns out fine.
Well, I'm sorry for your predicament.
Would you help?
I don't want to get involved in gang feuds. It seems unseemly.
I'll pay. I've got money. We Grays, we've always got money. No brains, mind, but money.
Well, in that case...
I know she loves to sit out in the gazebo on the edge of the Braithwaite property. Take her this letter and this bracelet, please.
Oh, look out for their guards. They're worse with strangers than ours are. So long, and good luck.
Okay, boy.
Okay.
Hey, you better follow that order,
Yeah.
Jangan ya.
Be here. This is a private plantation. You can't fire here now.
Hey, I'm just a tourist.
Off you go. You come back again, we'll think you're a gray.
Are you Penelope Braithwaite?
Why, yes, I am.
I've got a letter for you.
Oh.
And a gift.
A letter and a gift. Well, we don't even know each other.
Well, it's not from me. It's from,
From Bo. Oh, he is so...
Strange?
Yes, he's a little strange, but also so human. The rest of our families are stuck in the Dark Ages, or... Well, I don't know. cave people, perhaps. Bo's different. But if they find out, they'll kill him and send me to live someplace awful like Ohio. Have you ever been to Ohio, sir?
No.
Well, neither have I, but my uncle has a factory there. He was sort of the black sheep on account of having left. But now they tolerate him because he's a vicious snob. Families are there's something else. You got a family, sir?
No, not really.
Well, they tolerate him because of the money. But me, with my ideas above my station, they can't stand.
That sounds pretty complicated. I don't know quite what to say.
Nothing to say, except I hope they all rot. I don't, well, maybe a bit. But here, if you see Bo again, will you give this to him?
Sure.
Ragazzi, chi si iscrive io ricambio con tutti. Se io lasciare anche un bel like. Allora, dobbiamo uscire da quest'area, no? Se prendiamo qualche. Ok, lo fai. Dai ragazzi, iscrivetevi tutti, che siamo quasi a 400 iscritti. Ok, di che? Adesso ricordo. Ok, fatto. 210. Allora, prendiamo la barca. Ok, abbiamo completato la missione. lasciare il cavallo autonomamente. Ecco. Andiamocene, andiamo. Ok. Ragazzi, lasciate un bel like, iscrivetevi al canale. Vi porto anche FIFA 19 e ci vuoi giochi soldi per top swap.
More than that.
Of course, of course. Oh, and here is my dear friend, Arthur Callahan. Boy is a hunter. Boy is a killer. Arthur, you've met but not been introduced to Mr. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sheriff Gray.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm fine.
Tough business you boys had.
We did?
Well, there's no need to pretend with me, sir. Life can be tough.
So it can.
And no man owes another anything.
No, sir.
But still, I feel you were hard done by. Losing your employment like that. But still, here in Rhodes, we have work enough for honest men.
That's some strong stuff. Still, don't seem to be doing you any harm, I guess.
Exactly. Whoa. Excuse me a moment.
I told you we was moving up in this world. Deputies.
You have finally lost your mind.
Amongst these drunkards, hillbillies, and slavers? Good honest thieves like us. We're bound to be moralizers in a place like this. Oh, Sheriff Gray, you are back.
Now listen, sir. There is shine in them woods, though. And it is costing this county its good name. And the state a whole lot of income. You boys wouldn't mind rooting it out. Maybe we'll make you permanent. I gotta set me down a second.
Not a problem, sir. Not a problem at all. You are in safe hands now. And people waste time with the temperance movement. Liquor never dulled a good man's senses. Arthur, you ride with the deputy. Bill and I will follow.
Climb on up. Let's go.
Ciao, scintille. Veniva a scrivere.
Archibald?
How are you?
Pretty good.
And your friend is behaving himself?
Oh, yes. I think he's learned his lesson.
Congratulations on becoming a temporarily deputized citizen of Scarlet Meadows County. Most towns just get bounty hunters to do their dirty work these days, but Sheriff Gray believes the law should keep the law. Now, I'm sure I don't need to remind you there's a chain of command here.
There is?
Dang straight there is. This is a dangerous business, but follow my lead and you'll be just fine.
Sure. Hey! Archibald wants to remind us he's in charge here.
Of course!
Who else would be?
But you were a big help with them Anderson boys, and I put in a very good word with the sheriff on your behalf.
We appreciate that.
We rounded up the others soon after. I'm pushing for the rope myself, but that's by moonshiners. Braithwaites. I told you about the Braithwaites.
Pretty sure you did.
Old Cotton family had a fortune at one point until, well, a few changes in the labor laws. Now they're dealing in moonshine. We found their stills hidden all over Lemoyne. Quick as we destroy one, another one pops up. You could call it a pitiful fall from grace, if they had any grace to start with.
I have no time for tax dodgers.
Not to mention the fact that Catherine Braithwaite has a rather expensive interest in thoroughbred horses to maintain.
But I heard something about it being gold these families were fighting over.
Well, that's the rumor. But the Grays and the Braithwaites think the others stole a fortune from them. But it happened so long ago, I don't know for sure if it's true.
Must be tough being rich, huh?
So I imagine.
That badge rather suits you, Mr. W.
No, ragazzi, ricordo.
I thought so too.
Does it feel good to be back at it? Serving your country?
I wouldn't go that far.
Whoa! Whoa! Hold up. You see that wagon?
Ragazzi, fatemi sapere se vi piace questo gioco.
Dear me, that don't look good. Oh. Come on, mister. Keep your eyes open. Deputy, get over here, please. Look, suit and tie, one bullet clean through the forehead. Well, my money says this is the handiwork of a gang called the Lemoyne Raiders.
Yeah, I've run into them.
Let's see if we've got any identification. Okay. We should get going. I'll send someone over here later to clean this up.
Scrivendo ragazzi ricambio tutto.
Alright, boy. Dangerous business, the life of a lawman, isn't it? Appears so.
Would you mind taking the reins? I want to have a look at these papers.
Sure.
I'll direct you. Okay. Frederick Mitchell, Lemoyne State Legislator. Poor feller. Yes, this certainly smacks of the Raiders to me. Bunch of ex-Army Free Staters without an ounce of respect for the law. Hey, hey, not so fast! Go right at the crossroads.
Yep. Not the nicest fellas in my experience.
Oh, and I know the Braithwaites are in business with them. No shame. They're riding easy. We ain't in that much of a hurry. Trash begets trash, my Uncle Reginald used to say. He had a few stories, let me tell you. Town preacher and town sheriff. Would drink a sailor under the table before breakfast. He had one time... Why did I let you drive? Whoa, take it easy.
Ragazzi, spero l'avete vista, raga.
He had one tiny hand, like a child's, on the end of a grown man's arm. But anyway, this tells you what kind of people the Braithwaites are. Selling moonshine to murderers. I tell folks don't even speak to him. Don't even look him in the eye. Here we are. So what was I saying?
Something about the Braithwaites, I think.
Even saying that word makes me sick. Now, anyone we find here, we bring in alive, understood? Round them up and take this operation down for good. Come on. Let's see what we're dealing with. See? See? What did I tell you, boys? What did I say? I said this place was crawling with vermin.
And we just found ourselves the rat's nest par excellence, as they say in Paris.
My aunt, she went to Paris back in '78.
How will I handle this?
Well, the way I see...
Actually, let my friend here decide. He doesn't have your fine way with words, but he is definitely the man for the job. Let's split up. Arthur and Bill, me and Archibald. You boys want right or left?
We'll take the ride.
Let's stop these filthy, degenerate tax dodgers. The cheek of them.
A fine idea.
Hush.
Remember what he said. We need them alive. Let's just knock them out and tie them up.
Got it, Deputy Williamson.
Hold back. See if they split up. Forget the rider. Don't round him up later. Get the other one.
Think you take this one, Bill.
With pleasure.
Anthony, where you at, boy?
Goddamn fool.
Where you at, boy?
Right. Let's gather them up.
Non la versione.
Add him to the pile, Arthur.
I think that's it.
Well, what do we do now?
We better destroy all this. Any of your boys can handle explosives.
Sure. Anyone but him.
So, tell me about the...
That is the last time I'll mention it, I swear.
Shit! We got men over here!
Non ho preso
You're gonna die in a close one! Where did these sons of bitches come from?
Alright, boys, we're putting you out of business. We're taking blood for everything.
And get out of here.
Fine by me.
Are we getting out of here then?
Well done. Well, forgive me, but me and my men must return to our lives. Ah, Seems like we failed to destroy the last of the moonshine.
Sure.
Would you like us to?
Well, I normally take it. For personal consumption, it's sort of part of the job. But I better get back home. Why don't I just take a jug or two and leave you boys the rest to show that there's no hard feelings on account of the war?
We are all Americans.
Of course. My cousin, Webster. He used to say some of us is not as American as others, if you know what I mean. Only I didn't quite. Come on, you degenerate, no-good, white trash, hillbilly piece of scum. I know you, Billy Lime.
Finally.
You've always been a piece of crap. Come on, move.
We have a life on a land so stupid, a backwater so backwards that even we are like geniuses. Bill, get this stuff out of here. Come on, you ride with me.
Okay.
Should I stash this somewhere near camp, boss?
Yes, show it to Hosea. I'm sure he can find a use for it. Bit of trouble back there, Arthur?
Ain't there always? From what they was yelling, I think they were the buyers.
Old Archibald didn't ask too many questions, so neither should we.
I ain't planning to.
That was worth the effort, though. Deputized and hiding in plain sight. These lawmen, these two families. I mean, I really think we can play this from all sides. It's got Hosea written all over it.
This is starting to sound like the Young Dutch again.
What do you mean, Young Dutch? I'm as strong as I have ever been. Hey, you know what? Why don't I race you back?
Okay, you're on.
That's the spirit. Okay, on my word. You never were much of a rider.
We'll see about that.
Sei da loro,
damn sorry, son.
Well, spare the gloating, Dutch.
Oh, I'm not a gloater. Why would I laugh at the fact that you haven't learned, after all these years, to ride a horse very well? That is a source of great sorrow to me.
Very funny.
I had fun with you today. Be well. Here? Well, I was gonna say you're like a son to me. But you're more than that.